Through the ages, the Manipuris had developed a distinct martial art form known as Thang Ta. In the course of history, the people of this tiny kingdom could defeat the armies of Burma and neighboring countries by the culture of this art. The name of Thang Ta exponent, Pauna Brajabasi, who sacrificed his life in the Anglo-Manipuri War of 1891, is still remembered with reverence by the people of Manipur. The kingdom was annexed to the British after that battle of 1891, and the practice of this art was banned, and the possession of swords and spears was liable to harsh punishment of death and exile. But Thang Ta survived through the secret schools of masters or ojas. Deep value of sacrifice, chivalry and honor, respect for life of all statures, proper safeguard of women and children, morality and truth are some of the ethical practices associated with the martial art tradition. Oja Ningthau Khelchandra explains the use of different parts of Thangsang, short, Chungoi, burglar, and Firep, stance. And demonstrates the use of back edge of the deep portion of the sword. One rare speciality of the Manipuri swordsmanship is the ability to deliver multiple strokes in a single footstep. Thang Chungoi Marol Haiba is the basic sword yielding exercise, holding sword and sil along with advanced footwork pattern for a perfect coordination of handwork and footwork. Oza Sinam Devabarta explains that Ta, spear. Ta is a weapon used by the people of Manipur since antiquity. Ta can be advantageously used in thrusting man and animal alike with either end. Ta Khausaba is of ritual importance. There are 9 different styles of Ta Khausaba. Each style consists of specific sequences like the salutation, removing of stakes, watching of the foe, or the battle, the hunt and the stroke. Khao Saba was compulsorily performed on the occasion of Quoc Tanba festival in the month of Mera, the English month of October. For the first feeding of the Meitei child with solid food, a ritual called Chawumba is performed. The well-dressed and ornamented child is kept on a mat. In front of the child, different materials like paddy, clay, gold, silver coins, books, and weapons are spread. The first material, touched with his hand, is read as a sign for his future livelihood. If the child happened to touch the sword and the seal, it is believed that the child will be a warrior in his future life. The training of Thangta begins with the lessons on Thangbi, short vocabularies. It is the technique of delivering hits, cuts, or thrust by the swordsman to the vital limbs of his adversary. Thangbi may be divided into two: Yan Bagi Thangbi, attacking techniques, and Ngak Bagi Thangbi, defensive techniques. Along with these strokes, a number of footworks for attack and defense are practiced, which are known as Yan Bagi Khonglon, way of the foot while attacking, and Ngak Bagi Khonglon, way of the foot while defending. Chairol Mapi Haiba, stick exercise of the beginners, is a basic form of exercise for the young learners to develop the wrist and arms as well as the footworks. These basic exercises groom the young learners to become proficient enough to handle the steel blades. These are Sajel Kanglon exercises in order to develop balance, flexibility, agility, endurance, and coordination. The mastery of these exercises enables the practitioner to be completely aware of the inner realities of physical and mental self and encourages him to achieve self-confidence. Two systems of the Thanglon, the art of short play, has been in practice. One is Leiteng Thang, decorative short play, and the other is Yana Thang, combat system. Leiteng Thang was mainly used for exhibitions before the kings and the nobles of the court on special occasions like Quoc Tanba and other festivals like Lai Harauba. For Leiteng Thang, two shots or a shot with a burglar could be yielded in such a way that the entire body is protected from all sides. One important feature of Leiteng Thang is that the two shots yielded by the performer should never clash. Some of the steppings used in the process are Thunga Nungdum, triangular, Tha Machet, semicircular, Khongpham Manga, 5 steps. Another typical feature of Leiteng Thang is the composed duels like Thang Yanaba, short fight, Thang Ta Chainaba, short and spear fight based on basic exercises of the Thang Ta. The other technique, Yana Thang, freestyle combat technique, is practiced with the weapon Chaibi. Chaibi is a short can stick split into 4 sections and wrapped up with loosely swelled leather sheet. This free fighting is one of the most important training systems in Thang Ta. Here, the fights are not composed, nor they follow established vocabulary. Different weapons are used for different purposes. This is Lambuta, a long spear used for capturing or killing tigers. Khangningta, Tapak, and Long are some of the different types of spear. These swords are known as Salai Thang, swords of 7 clans of the Meiteis, namely Angom, Ningthaucha, Luang, Khabanganba, Khuman, Moirang, and Sarang Leisangthem. Some of the sacred swords believed to be yielded by different guardian deities of the Meiteis are shown here. 10. Bow and arrow were commonly used by the Manipuris. Sairong is also an indigenous weapon of the Manipuris. This is the quiver of Arambai, another traditional and much dreaded unique weapon used by the Manipuris both in aggression and defense. It is a kind of dart made of peacock feather fastened with a piece of pointed iron which is already tempered with poison. The Arambai was used to be thrown from the horseback by the Manipuri cavalry. An expert equestrian could throw this weapon very effectively to all the angles, forward, backward, and sideways, even from beneath the dewlap of his mount to inflict a fatal injury to the enemies. Through the centuries, the Manipuris smelted iron from the iron ore available in Manipur, mainly at Kapching. The weapons were indigenously made out from that smelted iron. The Meiteis believe that the weapon have evolved from the limbs and bones of Ting Sidaba, the Eternal One, and consequently they are treated with reverence. The valiant heroes who had successfully fought many battles and captured ferocious wild animals were amply rewarded by the king of Manipur. Manafi is one such specially made cloth for the purpose of the reward. Pajeng Firal, made of rare bird feather and small flags, are also decorated on the turbans of those competent ones. The Manipuris not only attained higher skills in the use of weaponry, but also developed a special technique of unarmed combat known as Sarit Sarat. Sarit literally means evading or defense from an armed or unarmed attack, while Sarat means counter-offensive moves to hurt the attacker whatever the situation be. Offense is defense is the basic principle of this art. Mukna is a must during Lai Harauba, the biggest festival of the Meiteis. There are different laws or techniques used in the Mukna. Some of them are Kaplak Kotti, Chepching, Longkro. Those who practice Thang Ta have to follow strict rules of conduct and moral ethics. The capturing or killing of an animal or a foe must be carried out with strict code of conduct having moral values. For instance, a foe who pleads biting a piece of grass or one who pleads with folded hands should not be killed. Capturing of birds like Nongobi, Wakambong, Mongba, Pebet, Langmai are also forbidden. It is believed that capturing or killing an animal or a foe against the prescribed code of conduct brings about havoc or destruction to the capturer, killer, or his descendants. Manipuri martial art culture involves the study and invocation of different elements. A specific area of study is the reading of signs of the clouds known as Lon. For instance, if the cloud assumes the form of a lion facing the enemy in the battlefield, it is sure that the battle will be won. Thang Ta of the Manipuris is not simply the ability to yield weapons, to fight with physical strength and skill. The art includes deep spiritual exercises which enables the martial man to cope with other forces beyond human knowledge and comprehension. The training in Thang Ta will not be complete without the knowledge of the sacred Thengo. This art is imparted only to a student who is over 40 years of age and also one who can control his mind. Thengo is the ritual of summoning the spirits of the eternal world to balance the equilibrium of the universe with the esoteric martial movement from which the language of the sword and spear originates. It is believed that the Thengo is performed on the coils of Pakhangba, the eternal serpent god, and thus violation of set norms of Thengo was considered as sacrilege.
농도원에 라이는 두 바큰